Henry, you must have rather mixed feelings about the outcome.
I have really, yes. In fact, in some ways, it's a very sad day for me, really, because I sort of, having got Buckskin there, again beating myself, you know, but they're two different horses, two different owners, and, you know, it's not a charity. And
how did you feel about Buckskin's running?
He ran fantastic, but I mean, the ground was firm and he was changing his legs, and that's what really cost him the race.
Yeah.
But his legs deteriorated so much, I thought it was very touch and go whether he got round.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was only one Gold Cup, and the other horse, you know, was entitled to take his chance. I knew if Buckskin faltered, the other horse would win, but I wanted it the other way.
Myself this morning, and I'd done it by the time he rang me up. But Verdant, he hates soft ground, so he just couldn't risk it.
And what about this horse? Were you convinced that he was going to handle this?
Yes, he loves the soft ground. He's a great, big, enormous horse, and he's an improving horse. He broke the track record at Newbury, and he's a horse I think we'll see next year as well. Probably over longer distance, even the Gold Cup.
In fact, you got the biggest number of older horses, probably the strongest team than you've ever had. You've got about 18 older horses. There must be a great advantage to you.
Well, it should be, but an awful lot of them have gone wrong, yeah? And I've only run about 3 of them.
Well, you ran half of the field there.
We had a marvellous week, but it's sort of an awful lot of things go wrong behind the scenes as well, yeah?
Well, let's go back to yesterday and the Gold Cup. And were you convinced in your mind on the day that Steve was riding the right one in Tian?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And the other horse, he doesn't. I don't think he likes the ground. The other horse, I think he's at the moment, he needs sort of change or freshening up. He's not really sort of enjoying his racing.
Tian, Lord Howard described him as a very nice horse. Is he a great favourite of yours?
He's always been a great favourite of his, and he's never done anything wrong. He's terribly consistent. I always wondered whether he quite had the class for a Gold Cup, but he loves the soft ground, and I did think he had a great chance.
And he obviously stays very well. He'll go through the stairs races, will he?
Well, I hope so, as long as the ground is good or good to soft.
Henry Cecil there.
Newmarket, near Cambridge, is less than 100 miles from London. This is the major center for English thoroughbred training. It's hundreds of pastoral acres, the grounds for developing most of England's top horses. Rolling green countryside, the scene for almost casual morning gallops. Trainers bringing out sets ranging from 20 to 50 horses, using the uphill slopes to build power and stamina. A scene remarkably different from the racetrack morning workouts in America.
The American way of training is so different. I mean, you know, the track work, and I like giving my horses plenty of time. They go out for 2 hours to an hour and a half anyway, every day. And it's a completely different profession, really. English racing and American racing is baseball and cricket, where they both have a ball and a bat, and that's about it, really. Most of our conditioning work is uphill. I mean, in the spring, we do an awful lot of cantering up hills just to strengthen them, yeah? But our courses are all like things on fairgrounds. I mean, they're up and down dale. I mean, we don't have level courses. You know, most of our courses, you know, you come down hills, and we've only got to look at Epsom. I mean, very different from the tracks in America. That's one reason we don't really do much in the way of timing over here. People keep saying to me, you know, your horse did 5 furlongs in such and such a time. I haven't got a clue whether my horse did 5 furlongs in 10 minutes or 25 seconds. It doesn't interest me because the courses vary so much, and with our weather, the conditions vary so much, and also our races are run at very different speeds. You know, some races are run very slow and they quicken up, and some go very fast. And in America, I think sort of the fastest part of your race is probably at the beginning and the slowest at the end. Yeah? I mean, I think in England it's the other way around.
Cameron, how do you actually get into a horse's head to find out exactly how you're going to bring out the
you know, if you watch a horse, you can tell whether he's sort of enjoying things. You know, if you start pushing, you'll find he's sort of jibby, or he's sweating, or he's not relaxed. Yeah? Or he's trying to get things over too quickly. Yeah? And he starts hitting himself behind and everything because he's trying to get the canter to gallop over too quickly because he's weak, and it's frightening. You know? And I think that horses have got to be relaxed, you know, and be able to pick them up and enjoy themselves. I mean, a horse that's running too free because it's scared and it falls in the heat. You know?
The horses we saw this morning were only cantering, but when you're working horses, how do you like to work them?
Well, this morning, I mean, we just had an easy day. We worked yesterday in the whole, and so we just did a sort of couple of steady canters or one steady canter. When I work my horse, I usually sort of work them in probably 4s, 3s or 4s, one behind the other. So if we're working a mile, we'd probably work one behind the other for 5.5 furlongs, yeah? And then they'll draw up in a line, and you're going probably at 3-part speed, yeah? And in the last furlong and a half, once they're drawn up, then they'll accelerate together and help each other, yeah? I like to see them when they actually finish together, all in a line, yeah? So I feel I can still tell which is going the best, yeah? And don't forget, when you're working, you're probably working horses a much shorter distance you're going to run them, yeah? I mean, a horse stays or he doesn't stay. So the main thing is to try and work him the shorter distance. I feel, this is my sort of theory, that you're working with shorter distance and give him time to go through his gears. So in the last furlong, he's ready motoring, yeah? So you've got an Ascot go a couple horses, you can work him 1.25 miles. He's either going to stay or he isn't. I mean, you can't make him stay. Yeah? He's either bred to stay or he isn't. So you'd like to see him really accelerating that in the last furlong and a half and working over a shorter distance. I mean, anything if you're working a long distance can stay, plod around Royal Ascot. I mean, the horse that wins the race is the horse that finds that sort of fifth gear like a Ferrari, not something that goes along like a...
Here's a man who's had his judgment vindicated. You always kept saying to us that she was a really crack filly, would win the Classic. She left it very late.
She did, actually. And I said to Sheikh Mohammed that she ran terribly well, but Rosalka, half-sister, I trained, she didn't come to herself till Ascot time, and Chris, of course, was much better at Ascot than he was at Guineas time. So I said, whatever happens, I mean, she should sort of get better rather than deteriorate.
And through the race, everything went well to begin with, but then the others did accelerate away from her, and there was a moment when presumably you thought they weren't going to get back there.
Well, I didn't think we had got back anyway, actually. I mean,
really?
from where I stood, I thought I'd been beaten, and I was sort of, I thought she'd run a marvellous race, and I thought she'd actually got beaten.
You've had some tremendous fillies through your hands. How does she rate now? She's won her Classic.
Well, you hate comparing, good fillies. I mean, we've had 3 fillies, Fairy Footsteps, her and 1 in a Million. 1 in a Million was a very, very fast filly, didn't really get a mile. She is obviously a tremendous sort of scopy filly and a very, very good filly, but you don't like to say one's better than the other. Yeah?
And she's won her Guineas. How much further is she going to stay?
Well, I think she'll get a 1.25 miles. I think so. But it's marvellous winning a Classic. Now I can afford to pay my Jockey Club fine.
Henry Cecil, thank you very much for talking to us. Henry Cecil, referring to the £2,000 he was fined yesterday, wasn't, I can tell you, for trading.
Very calm, and I rang the Prince the other day and I said, I think we've got a great chance of being in the first 3. I'm not going to say I'm going to win the Guineas, because I think it's the worst thing to say in the world.
Touch and go we were going to run anyway, because I mean, she hates the hard ground. And in the end we thought, well, we'll take a chance. I mean, at least it's sort of probably better ground than galloping in Newmarket. And the idea was, if she wasn't going to let herself go and not going to be in the first 3, to leave her alone.
Steve, do you think the rain has made a bit of difference to the ground or not?
Well, it's made a slight difference. Just taking that tiny bit of sting out, it hadn't made a lot of difference. And as you saw, when she hit the front, she really wasn't, really striding out that great. But she must be a good filly when she finally does get her ground.
Cecil and Cawthon, the top team at Royal Ascot so far.
Now you see what a top trainer has to go through. He wins one wretched race and the whole world closes on him. Henry Cecil, plus the world's press. Henry, Indian Skimmer, it's reported that she worked last week and then you took her out of the 1,000. Was that ever always the plan? How did that...
Well, I wanted to work to just see if she had enough speed for a mile, and I thought it was just a bit too short for her, and that, she'd run well in the Guineas, she'd have a hard race, and that'd probably be the end of her.
But she's done that very smoothly now.
Yeah, she's good, she's very good.
And what were the plans for her? She's not actually in the English shows, is she?
No, she's not. I mean, she was very free as a 2-year-old, and she didn't winter very well, and she just, to me, she didn't look at that class, but she's come on so much. So I think we'll have to go for the Musadora next. If she gets a 1.5 miles, she's got the Ribblesdale and the Irish Oaks. So I'm doing everything at once, you see. Are you listening? And we'll go from there. I mean, she is in the Prix Diane. So, but I think the Musadora will be our next race.
But Henry, for people at home, I mean, they do change that quickly, do they, fillies? That you...
Well, she's come on so fast. When I worked her the other day for the Guineas, I worked her with Martha Stevens and Scimitar, and she went sort of 3 lengths clear, and everybody watching it, including my brother Arthur, who works for the Daily Express, said, marvellous, we backed her for the Guineas, 25 to 1, But they're deceiving gallops, because she did work well, but Martha Stevens hates the firm ground and was saving herself, so we never let her go. And Scimitar hasn't come to herself, so, it wasn't quite what she looked like.
And is she, at this stage, the best of the fillies bunch, do you think? I mean, if she's come so quickly, they're like plants growing. Is she grown that fast that she's the best of them, do you think?
I don't know whether she'd be better over a mile than Martha Stevens, but I mean, she's potentially a very good filly. And
I'm thrilled with it because I like it very much. It's nice.
Racing Post is what you want. Because Racing Post goes right to the top. And Racing Post gives you the inside track.
By the way, don't forget to read me every Saturday in the Racing Post.
Racing Post, it's all you need.
Manner of this filly's victory, Henry. Yeah, she's a lovely filly. She's very relaxed, laid back, and Paddy was through with her. The ground was getting heavy and a bit sort of sticky. And she did beautifully. I mean, she's a very nice filly and a great prospect for next year.
How concerned were you when all this rain came and changed the ground?
Well, she'd never been on the heavy ground. You know, we had worked sort of fast ground, and I was a little bit concerned, but I do think she's good. She's probably the best I had for a few years, and keep our fingers crossed.
The bookmakers are putting pieces of paper in front of us saying that she's 7-2 favourite now for next year's 1,000 guineas.
Well, I never understand prices. We've got the wind to get through first.
But some fillies and some colts as well take a while to show that they've got the pace at home. Has she always been good at home?
Yeah, she's always told us that she could be something out of the ordinary, and I'm very pleased with the owner who's really having a go and paid a lot of money for her, and he's being repaid.
And you're a man who likes to celebrate. You fly the flag at home when you have a Group 1 winner.
And a cup of tea.
And a cup of tea. Will it be flying tonight?
It will, and Natalie and myself will have a good cup of tea.
What did you think?
Well, it's only our third race, isn't it?
Yeah.
And marvellous the Harrises, you know, who bought Lordship Stud.
Yeah.
They've got the sisters and the mother, and new owners into racing recently, and fantastic. Huh?
It's a lovely start for them. You like winning the Oaks, don't you?
Well, I don't know, I've been very lucky. I've had been given some very good fillies to train, and luckily I haven't managed to destroy them all.
Tell us about this filly. She is very special.
Well, she is. I mean, she was very ill about a month ago, you know, with that lung thing, and we had a treat and everything, and she's done very well to come back. You know? I mean, she could have done with another race, but we couldn't give it to her. But no, she is a good filly, a very good filly.
And she stayed on so well, because they really came out of that. Calypso Katie and then Melika came late.
I know, and she's a little bit green and everything, and she didn't really have a very hard race, did she?
Yeah.
She didn't. I mean, Richard said she didn't have a hard race. I think we all had a harder race than she did.
Like that. Where does she go next? I mean, we're going to Ireland, or what about thoughts?
We'll see. I mean, we'll just wait and see. Let's take one day at a time.
And how much of a poignant moment is this for you?
I think it's lovely. Yeah, I've got my brother coming tomorrow.
Good. And I know he's not very well, so for him to see you in this is something very special. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well done. Well dden. Lovely.
I mean, our filly has definitely improved a lot since her race at Ascot. I mean, it was a marvellous achievement after a long layoff. Yeah. She's come on a lot. We've always thought that probably the mile and a quarter would even suit her better than a mile. Yeah. She's very well.
Henry Cecil's record at Royal Ascot is unrivaled. With 65 winners to date, he has nearly double the number of victories of any other current trainer. As the pressure builds to his favourite meeting, it's all about preparation, hard work and concentration.
Can you pay attention for 1 second, please?
The flag is flying high at Warren Place after victories in 3 of the first 4 classics, culminating in Oath's stirring win in the Derby. But Cecil is never one to rest on his laurels, and he's raring to go.
I love Royal Ascot, and I've tried to bring our team to a peak for Royal Ascot, and I've sort of worked hard on trying to do that, and I just got to hope that things work out. You know, they can all run very well, and you can have 15 placed horses, no winner, but I'd love to have another winner. It's very difficult to win races at Ascot. I mean, it's very hard, but we have got probably the strongest team we have had, you know, on paper. Whether it materialises is another matter.
With around 26 runners over the week, the Cecil team are looking to start with a bang. Chester House on the far side here, and Shiva, seen here with Kieran Fallon, are first and second favourites in the Prince of Wales's stakes. While the majestic Royal Anthem, who finished second to Dale Army in the Coronation Cup, is many people's idea of a banker in the Hardwicke Stakes on Friday. And then there's Killer Instinct in the light blue jacket and white cap. He's always looked world-class at home, hasn't yet produced it on a racecourse.
He's very genuine, but he's not putting his mind with his legs up to now, but I'm just hoping that things will change today.
You had your first winner at Ascot back in 1970. In the years in between, you've been amazingly consistent, but is there one race that really stands out for you?
I think so. I mean, Le Mans, when he won the
Gold Cup for the second time. He was always a very difficult horse to train at home. He wouldn't do anything, and I used to have to swim him to get the exercise into him. And he pulled a muscle in March, quite badly. So he went to the racecourse without a run, and he went and beat all those good horses like Ardross, and he led all the way, and they kept coming at him the whole time, and he kept fighting them off, and I think it was Joe Mercer rode him on that day, and it was a tremendous performance of his. Yeah.
You set yourself targets. I remember you telling me about drawing a number of boxes in your diaries of how many winners you're expecting and filling each box in.
That's right.
What's your target for Royal Ascot this year?
Well, we were very lucky one year. I didn't think we were going to have a win, actually. I thought we were going to have a very depressing Ascot, and it poured with rain, and it was very soft, and on the whole, our horses don't run well on the soft ground as a stable because we're used to Heathland, and our results are pretty patchy on soft ground, and I didn't think we'd have a win, and we had 7 at the Royal meeting, and then we had 2 beaten a short head, and then we had 3 on the Saturday, so we had 10 over the whole week. So Royal Ascot, 7 has been my best, and I'd love to beat it, but he may be asking too much, but I'm going to have a go.
He's the one who said you must go to the Oaks, not me.
Yeah, I think that Prince has said it all.
He's good, isn't he? Lovely.
He's very good. He loves it, I think.
Tell us about the bit that you had on the horse.
Well, on this track, just in case she gets a bit through her mouth.
Yeah.
The main thing was to give her a race and sort of educate her for Epsom.
Yes.
And she won the same sort of way as Lady Carla did. And I'm hoping that by the time I get to Epsom, she'll be a better filly.
What did Kieran say when he dismounted? How impressed?
She wasn't doing anything. She was getting nice and lazy.
Yes.
We didn't really pick her up.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing would have done her good. Yeah.
And she's now on course for Epsom. What happens now? It's 4 weeks virtually today to Epsom. What do you do between now and the Oaks?
Well, we give her a little bit of a breather, and then we just gradually sort of bring her up and try and sort of get her peaking on the day.
Yes, yes. Well, I tell you what, you do very, very well there.
I was quite happy with her. She's not doing very much. She's just nice and lazy.
Yes.
Better than that, having them that way than sort of coming along rather free like this.
Nice and relaxed when in front of the big crowd.
And she acted well on the course. That was the main thing to find out.
Yes.
And we'll have a crack and see what happens.
What's the other news from the Cecil camp? Any more news after Chester and the work this morning?
We did a lot of work this morning, which was very, very encouraging, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Oh, go on.
Not at the moment, because I'm such a bad tipster. If I say horses work well and they run badly, I feel a bit guilty.
Yes.
But I'm quite pleased with the main sort of horses like Royal Anthem and horses like that. They're coming on very well, and so I hope people will have a lot of fun out of them.
You must have been pleased that Killer Instinct got off the mark yesterday at Nottingham.
Yeah, they've been sort of talking about him, and he's a very backward horse. He's had his problems, and potentially he's a very good horse, and I think he's a potential Group 1 horse. But if they just leave him alone and let him do the talking rather than the press, we'd be better off. Yeah?
Will he do the talking in the Derby or not? Or
no, he won't. He wants another race to educate him, and he'll probably go for the Grand Prix de Paris or something like that.
Lovely. Okay. Well,
right.
Well done yesterday, well done today. We'll see you at Epsom 4 weeks' time. Excited winning owner. What's it like from the training point of view, Henry?
A very exciting winning trainer.
A very exciting winning trainer. First of all, congratulations on a fantastic Oaks Derby double.
Yeah, lovely meeting, isn't it?
It is.
Early on, Epsom always used to be a bit of a sort of problem, but once you've won one of those races, you know you've won one, you can do it again, yeah?
Well, it's difficult to win one. You've now won 4 derbies. How does it compare?
Well, it's very difficult to compare horses, really. This is a lovely little horse, and he adapted himself well, and I knew he stayed, so I said to Kieran, when you get in the straight, you can go for home, and we'll just test the staying power of the rest. Yeah?
Where did you watch the race from, and how did you enjoy it?
I saw it very well, just on the stands. Yeah?
Well, this horse has been working alongside the filly yesterday, and they've both done each other proud, so you had a good line after yesterday.
Yes, I thought he'd run very well. Obviously, the 1 or 2 that if they stayed, you'd have to be worried about. And I thought Lucas' horse, if he was very, very soft, he could have been a problem. But I thought we had a great chance. We weren't just here for fun.
And tell us, the Derby, what does it mean to you? You've won all the major classics. What does winning the Derby again mean to Henry Cecil?
Well, I think it's the greatest race, and it's a lovely feeling, and I think it gives you confidence. If you can win a Derby, you know you can win a Derby. You don't feel you're useless.
I don't think you're useless. Did you enjoy the cheer that people gave you when you walked in the winner?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Many congratulations. Well done. Thank you.
This Trainers' Championship now, actually on win money, that just puts you about £57,000 in front of Richard
We've
Allen.
always been in the last 200 years on win money, but we can't change it now just because we've got a racing post. Right?
Well, things are changing, what with the turf and the all-weather.
You can't change John Portman and people like that, can you?
But why, we were talking about it earlier, why isn't the Jockeys' Championship judged on prize money and not winners?
I can't change.
And you're obviously slightly biased because if it was on win and prize money, you'd be a little bit behind Richard, some £150,000. As we're getting away from the fact that you've just had a very good winner. But I mean, did you think would it be fairer on winning prize money or just win money?
It depends. I mean, if you've got, it's rather like saying if somebody's got 600 horses, is it fairer that the place money than the person who's got 2 horses?
Well,
you can't win. I mean, I don't know, but the main thing is, Richard's not beaten yet. I mean,
no, but whatever, you've had a very good season, and this horse, has he got a good future?
Well, I hope so. I'll let you decide that.
Well, it's been disappointing for 1 or 2 horses in the past.
I don't think so, really.
How would he compare with some of your other winners?
I mean, you say it's disappointing, but I mean, don't forget. I mean, the Guineas horses usually go for the Dewhurst, right? And this horse is more for the potential sort of staying horse. And Noblesse and Vaguely Noble came out of it. Reference Point won the Derby. I had a lot of horses that were very good mile and quarter horses. Whether it be Hello Gorgeous or Leafard's Wish, and you find a lot of them, there'll always be the late maturing horse will come up and win the Derby, and who's not in this race, but I don't think you can say it's disappointing. I think people were all inclined to remember the Greenham when I had Wallow, my sort of second season on. Don't go for the Greenham, it's a very unlucky race. Well, I think I'll go for the Craven. Don't go for the Craven. The horse who wins the Craven never wins the Guineas. Well, what do you go for?
It wasn't too unlucky the following season for you anyway.
No, but I mean, it makes you think. No?
So superstition is not one of your strong points?
In some ways, yes, but not in this.
And Tess, where did he come from, this horse? He's been very lucky owners, Mr. Poland.
Well, we bought, take Cherry down to myself, we bought the mare from Mr. Joe, put a bit of speed in the stud, and then, of course, she came up with dispersal, and I think Michael Poland bought her for, was it £2,000 or £4,000? And that's how it started. I wish I'd bought her myself.
Something of a
Here's a man who's had his judgment vindicated. You always kept saying to us that she was a really crack filly, would win the Classic. She left it fairly late.
She did, actually. And, I said to Sheikh Mohammed that she ran terribly well, but Rosalka, half-sister, trained. She didn't come to herself till Ascot time, and Chris, of course, was much better at Ascot than he was at Guineas time. So I said, whatever happens, I mean, she should sort of get better rather than deteriorate.
And through the race, everything went well to begin with, but then the others did accelerate away from, and there was a moment when presumably you thought that they were going to get back there.
Well, I didn't think we had got back anyway, actually. I mean,
really?
From where I stood, I thought I'd been beaten, and I was sort of, I thought she'd run a marvellous race, and I thought she'd actually got beaten.
You've had some tremendous fillies through your hands. How does she rate now? She's won her Classic.
Well, you hate comparing, good fillies. I mean, we've had 3 fillies, Fairy Footsteps, her, and 1 in a Million. 1 in a Million was a very, very fast filly, didn't really get a mile. She is obviously a tremendous sort of scopy filly and a very, very good filly, but you don't like to say one's better than the other. Yeah?
And she's won her Guineas. How much further is she going to stay?
Well, I think she'll get a mile and a quarter. I think so. But it's marvellous winning a Classic. Now I can afford to pay my Jockey Club fine.
Henry Cecil, thank you very much for talking to us. Henry Cecil, referring to the £2,000 he was fined yesterday, wasn't, I can tell you, for training badly.
So what do you normally do to relax before Ascot?
I love Ascot. I always sort of try to prepare everything for Ascot. I really enjoy it. The adrenaline gets going, and even if one has one win at Ascot, it's lovely, I think.
Of course, yeah. But here we are in your rose garden here. Now, was this rose garden at Warren Place before you came?
No, Julie and myself put it down. I mean, people think I'm a great sort of authority on roses, but I'm not really. I mean, I know you buy them and stick them in, and when they die, you buy another one.
Well, what about this one over there, the striped one over there?
That's Rose of Monday. I mean, I've got quite a few striped roses. And,
how old would that be?
Well, that actually goes back before Christ.
Old, then?
Not that
Very
actual,
old.
Not actual...
Not as old as you, then.
No. Not the actual one, but, I mean, the strain does.
Yeah.
But they're very enjoyable. I mean, they don't last very long. They come out in June. Some of them recur and some are continuous, but on the whole, sort of, Ascot time, they're at their best.
But you don't go around spraying them for the black fly and the green fly?
We haven't got time, have we?
No, you haven't. No. How many runners are you going to have altogether?
I suppose 19 or 20 during the whole week.
At the Royal meeting?
No, over the 5 days.
Oh, the 5 days.
A couple on Saturdays. And 1 or 2 are doubled up, sort of 3 in one race and things like that. 2 in another, 2 in the Britannia, and we'll just keep going.
Keep going, just like a true Scot.
Like a true Scottish, we both are, aren't we?
Yes, we're
I mean,
Scottish.
you're more Scottish because you've taught a Scottish accent.
Ah, well, I lived there for 15 years. You didn't actually live there, did you?
Well, I grew up there, but I didn't live there, no.
Yeah.
No.
And, of course, you've collected a lot of soldiers.
Well, I got a study. I never used to have a study. I always used to work in the kitchen, and Natalie said, I mean, it's about time you had a study. You're old enough, yeah? So we built a study, and it's been decorated in sort of in tartan and this sort of thing. And I thought, well, we might as well have a sort of collection of toy soldiers.
And will you be rooting for the boys in France on the football?
I don't really follow football, really. I should watch the final.
You watch well, Scotland in it, or we hope.
As it's the week of...
Yeah, I did. From the wrong side.
Where's that tie? Come on, you want to find that tie for
Well,
me?
we'll just see if we can find it, Willie.
Find that tie.
It's not in that lot, I don't think. Right? It's
Yeah.
the Irish Derby, isn't it?
Yeah, the Irish Derby tie.
What about that one?
Ah, there you are. That's it. That's the Irish Derby. You won the Irish...
My ties are very precious to me. I think you look very smart in...
Yeah, in what? No. These are all too flamboyant for me. Too
What
flamboyant.
about that one? That's a Pucci tie.
Pucci?
Pucci. That's a smart tie.
And you don't have Hermes or...
Yeah, I got a lot of...
Hermes?
I got a lot of Hermes.
Gucci?
The amount of money I've wasted on ties is ridiculous, right?
No, that's a nice tie as well.
I could
Gucci,
educate-
Hermes,
could educate a
Gucci,
child.
Hermes.
They're there.
So you got a tie for Ascot then? You're okay?
I'm all right, I'm not going to buy any more. Or a few of them, anyway.
Pink.
Pink waistcoat.
Oh, that's a smart one.
That's a very smart one. Velvet with silk
Yeah,
drops on it.
Yeah, black and navy blue.
There are the hearts, yeah? Being romantic.
It's not Feb. This is June 13th, not Feb.
I can't, not on February 14th,
14th.
no, but Natty likes this one. She helped me choose it.
I've seen that one.
there's
Yeah,
one.
that's you've
Diamante
used that.
buttons.
Yeah, it's a very smart one.
There's one with...
Oh, that's nice. Horses' heads. That
Horses'
is
heads.
nice.
But
So you went-
I probably wear a grey one most of the time and just try and not be too sort of
Flamboyant.
much of a clown.
But you wouldn't be flamboyant, will you? How many
Shoes I've got.
shoes?
I don't know. I'm telling you.
Look at all these shoes you have. You like brown suede then?
Yep. But all it glitters isn't gold. Well, let's have a Scottish pound on...
Which one?
On Jibe and Royal Anthem.
Right. So that's
and
our
they-
two.
And probably both act.
There we are. We've got 3 to have a pound on.
And if we got anything else, we better keep it to ourselves, yeah?
Right. We'll do that.
All right?
Henry, evening. Congratulations.
Thank you. I look at being fighting. It was a great cut in my eye, but my filly kicked me at home this evening, game around stable. So if you look at, I haven't been fighting.
We'd have never noticed it if you hadn't mentioned it, Henry. Tell me about Shiva. How good is she?
Well, she's very, very good. Yeah. I mean, last year she won the Earl of Sefton, and she won the Group 1 in Ireland. She loves a bit given the ground. And then Ascot we ran up. It was hard, and she hated it. Yeah. And she's crippled for the rest of the year. Absolutely crippled, yeah? And we got her right, but she was about 3 gallops short, and she ran the champion, the second. She's nothing wrong, but I mean, she's a very, very, very good filly. I mean, she's a really top-class Group 1 filly.
And when you say she was crippled after running on fast ground, did you have doubts about getting her back?
Well, now, well, she's back.
Well, she's back big time, isn't she? We can take a look at it again, Henry, and we can just see what she's done to decent class field.
He's eased off. Eased her. I mean, she's a very, very, very good filly. You know, she's in the same class as Bob Shamrock. I mean, she's good.
Really that good?
Yeah.
I mean, by the time they've got a furlong and a half to run, and it's all over, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's eased her. But you know, given the ground, I went run again. That's this good run. Yeah, and he's eased her. Now watch. See? Looking over our shoulder in a minute, I hope. Yeah, there we are. See? Packy fell off. Right?
Yeah, absolutely no danger at all.
She's very, very good. Yeah. Very exciting, huh?
Yeah, what will you be aiming her for then? All the big targets?
Well, we'll think of Ascot, yeah? And then the Eclipse and the King George and the Ark, probably.
But all hinging on the ground?
Yeah, feel our way, but it's lovely to have a good animal, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic
Really
performance.
pleased today.
Yeah, it was a terrific performance. Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you. Thank you for talking to me.
It's a pleasure. Henry Cecil, who trained Shiva. And, well, you can hear the applause around the winner's enclosure here. It was a terrific...
Henry Cecil is about to go and saddle Stipulate for our next race, but I'm imagining that he's wearing a rather happier countenance than he might have done 24 hours ago, because the news regarding Frankel Henry is positive. Just fill us in a little.
It is. I mean, he obviously hit his tendon quite badly. There was a lot of hemorrhaging and everything, and I was always very hopeful, because it just didn't feel like a normal tendon, but you never know. And he was scanned this morning very thoroughly and everything, and everything with his sheath and his tendon is fine. I've had him sort of walking and trotting. Everything seems to settle down, and we'll resume work and we'll feel our way.
And how quickly can you resume proper work?
I shall feel my way, and I mean, I'd like to make Newbury if possible, because, you know, it's a long time with a horse like that to hang around till Ascot.
Sure.
And then you're against sort of hardened horse who had a race or two, and so I just feel my way, but I'm hopeful.
Because you were going to take him for that away day this weekend, weren't you? Just to give him a race call. Obviously not, no. But is there something similar you can do?
I just feel my way, I'll see. If I have to take him somewhere, I'll take him.
And he hasn't been a patient as such, but has he been good in the recovery process? Is he taken to it okay?
He has been going out morning and night, and sort of trotting and walking, and probably resume cantering this weekend.
And would it be fair to say that all of us were getting more jittery than you were? Your instincts were telling you that it would probably be okay.
Because, I mean, only because I've been sort of looking at tendons for about 40 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can never always be right, you know? And it was a funny one, and a bit of a worry, because, and the Prince was fantastic. He said, look, I've had so much fun out of that horse. He's done more than I ever expected. He said, don't worry. I said, well, I am worrying, because, I mean, I think he could be a better horse this year, and we need him.
And just to educate, that overreach, it's just when the back foot comes up and knocks into the front.
He got that tremendously long stride, and I think he went onto the racecourse side on the grass for the first time, and I think he just hit his front leg with his back leg on the tendon. There wasn't a mark there because he has bandages, and of course there's a lot of hemorrhaging and soreness, and you never really know. But I just had a feeling. I just said to Prince, I said, most of the time I'm wrong, but I think we could be right. Thank goodness that we are.
This is probably a daft question, but is there anything you can do to stop him doing it again? If he's got a tendency to be quite exaggerated like that.
Well, he hasn't done it before, and I just tell him not to do it again, because he's giving me grey hairs.
Well, hopefully he'll listen to you. Right. Claims for Stipulate here, are you hopeful?
Well, I think he'll run well. I mean, I think the other horse, the Prince, has got a chance, hasn't he? We'll feel our way. I mean, our horses are not that forward. I mean, they're running well what we've run, but I expect him to improve, but I'll get as near as I can.
Thanks for filling us in, Henry. Great news.
Pleasure.
The three things a trainer should be. One is being patient, two is being patient, and three is being patient. Our staff in the last year and a half we're building it up again, because we went down to 30-odd horses, you know, for about 4 or 5 years. You're all on camera, so make sure you smile, Faye. Just say good morning as you go past.
When you did go down to so few horses, was that one of the hardest things about it, actually having to lay off staff?
When a stable is thriving and going very well and winning good races, you know, people want to be in it. You know? When it's sort of winning 12, 14 races in a year up at Catterick and no runners at Royal Ascot, maybe financially they think they'd be better off somewhere else. 4 times steady. Now we're trotting, so move!
Did you ever lose faith in yourself?
Well, I don't know. I always thought that one day I could I got to a stage in my life with everything, you know, the death of my brother and financial things and divorces, and I never really sort of thought that that was the end of me. I just can't be an also-ran, you know. I've got children, you know, who I'd like to think look up to me. And I don't want to be that pathetic, you know. And when I heard people on the heath saying, sort of, that's Henry Cecil over there, he should have retired years ago. Those sort of things hurt me. And I've always been competitive, you know. I always thought if I was champion trainer, nobody could say I was useless, you know. And with the help of Jane and putting the pieces back together again, you know. We're getting back again, you know.
Lightshift is digging deep. She's a half length in front, and Lightshift wins the Oaks for Henry Cecil. It's Lightshift the winner.
So when did you first start to feel, right, I'm back, I'm on the bridle, I'm running again?
I suppose about 5 years ago, and then I was taken ill, which sort of made it more difficult. You know, when you're trying to be very positive and get back there, and you had chemotherapy, you can hardly walk. You don't feel quite so good, do you? You know, but I was determined to sort of get on top of everything. Yeah.
The incredible comeback king, Henry Cecil. Hip hip. Hip hip.
You know, when you've had chemotherapy and you're not feeling great, you know, how are you? You look very well. You know you don't. You know, yeah. Actually, they're very kind in the jockey club. You know, they did a portrait of me, and it's in the jockey club rooms. And this very nice woman painted me, and I just had a really big bout of that chemotherapy, and I felt awful and looked awful. It makes me look if I got one day to live. Yeah? But it is a very good painting. It's beautifully done. But I do look ill, and she's painted me as I was. Yeah? But it's quite funny. We've got, you know, likes of Sir Reginald Dolly Buchanan with his waxed moustache and high collar and everything, and then you've got Henry Cecil sort of lolling in a chair. This is a rose hedge. When the hips start coming, the fillies love the hips, you know, when they get red and everything, rather than a sugar lump. Life's got to be enjoyed, you know. I mean, on the heath, we always take the mickey out of each other. All the trainers nowadays get on very well together, and you know, I think they treat me as a bit of a joke, and I'm always taking the mickey out of them. And it's rather like a cocktail party in the morning, sitting by the canton, you know, a cocktail party without any drink.
And if things keep going well, I mean, there is the possibility of winning the Trainers' Championship. It would be an 11th title for you.
You know, it's very open. You know, I've got a chance, but we'll see how we go. But I still, you know, I'm pretty small-minded. You know, I look at the trainers' list and say, "Oh, you know, I've gone up one place or two places." As long as we're up near the top, you know, in the top 4 or 5, then everyone's got to be very pleased, and anything better than that would be a bonus, and I should be delighted. Here's Frankel, here.
I get the fillies out of the way, please, quick.
But I do it all in my head, you know. I can't work computers and things. I can't work by mobile telephone. I've given it to Jane, because I don't know how to send a message or anything like that. So I'm quite old-fashioned, you know.
How important has Jane been in keeping you concentrated on track and keeping you positive about the training?
Yeah. No, Jane is a great help. I mean, you know, she's sort of very sort of on the ball. She's very good with my sort of PR. I mean, my PR used to be terrible. I'm getting much better now, and she looks after me so well too. I mean, she's sort of, I have beetroot juice for breakfast and everything, and I'm not allowed to this, I'm not allowed sugar, and I'm not allowed this, you know, I'm not allowed cakes and things. But she does understand sort of horses too. You know.
Prince Carlos is a very private man, and he likes giving interviews even less than you do. How supportive has he been, and what is he like as an owner?
Well, I mean, he's a fantastic owner. I mean, I regard him as a very good friend. Yeah? He's been a very good friend to me through all my problems and everything. He's always been there for me. Yeah? And he's very knowledgeable too, and he loves his horses and he loves his breeding. And I'm very, very lucky to have him. Very lucky. I think. I mean, I have told him. I said, you know, if you decide you've had enough of me, that is the time I shall go.
You would stop training?
Yeah.
This is your first Cheltenham Festival.
It is really, it is, yeah. I always watch on television because I love the sport, you know? But I'd hate to try and train a national hunt horse because I wouldn't know where to start. But it's lovely to be here. I love the atmosphere, and I like seeing the best of anything.
And it has been the best, isn't it? I mean, Big Bucks are just unbelievable.
Fantastic, fantastic. He was one of my 2 tips of the week.
Brilliant. Now, tell us about Pluto, who runs in the charity race, a charity that's very close to your heart.
Yeah, it is, and it's a charity which I want to support, and they very kindly asked me to be sort of involved in it, and so I want to have a runner. I don't know if he'll be good enough. He probably won't be fit enough or good enough, but the main thing is to have a runner and raise money for a charity which gives people hope and the incentive, and it's very important that everybody's positive. If they think everybody's behind helping, if you're positive, that you know, it helps a lot when trying to fight this terrible disease.
Absolutely. Well, you've got a very good jockey in Lorna Bradburn.
Well, the thing I said to Lorna, I mean, I always say to my jockeys, before a race. It doesn't matter. Just do your best. Pretend it's a gallop and try and win it. I said to Lorna, if you don't win, it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. I always said to my jockey, there's always another time. In your case, Lorna, there probably won't be.
Oh, giving her confidence. But listen, it's about to build up to the start of the flat season, and we are actually in Dubai for the Dubai World Cup. The Channel 4 cameras twice overlooked fabulous in his first run out there in Meydan.
Yeah, I mean, he is better than he was last year. I took him over there because last year things didn't go right, and he didn't run very well. If he hadn't in the prep race, in the 2 Challenge Cup, if he hadn't run well, I would have brought him straight back, because I was frightened that the track's very sharp, a big horse, and also the surface, I wasn't sure it suited him. But as he won, sort of needing a race, and I think he's come on from that race. He did need that race. You know? It's quite difficult to sort of rest a horse after the Champion Stakes, Newmarket in October, and then sort of bring him gaily back through the winter to run in a $500,000 race. You know? And I think he ran very well considering, and I think he'll come on, so I think he deserves to take his chance.
Absolutely. And what about the lovely Frankel in the build-up to the Guineas?
Well, everybody keeps asking me about Frankel. He's done very well, he's setting very well, he's grown, strengthened. At the moment, I'm delighted with him, but I mean, let's let him do the talking. I'm not going to do the talking at the moment. Yeah?
Will we see him before the Guineas?
I think so. I think it'd be good for him, the experience. Yeah? I mean, I haven't got the confidence to run a horse in the first classic like the 1,000 or 2,000 without a run. I always think it brings him on after the winter. So, and also I think to educate him and get away from home and grow up a bit. I would think he'd more likely run at Newbury.
Brilliant. Well, listen, it's brilliant to have you here at Cheltenham. I hope you've enjoyed your day, and I hope we'll see you back at a few more national fixtures.
Nice to see you again. Adios.
I think your voice is just about gone, but if you could tell us, what was that like?
It was great, wasn't it? And you saw yourself, and you made a judgment.
He was outstanding. Is this the greatest achievement of your life?
Well, it's fantastic, and it's great for Yorkshire. They're very supportive for racing, and they deserve to see him.
And how does this make you feel now?
Probably 20 years better.
say love was a magical flame. I'd say love would keep us from pain. Had I been there, had I been there, I would promise you all of my life. But to lose you would cut like a knife. So I don't dare, no I don't dare, 'cause I've never come close in all of these years. You are the only one to stop my tears, and I'm so scared, I'm so scared. Take me back in time, maybe I can forget. Turn a different corner and we never would understand it. For you, it's a breeze. Little by little, you brought me to my knees. Don't you care? No, I've never come close. In all of these years, you are the only one to stop my tears. And I'm so scared.